right, everybody. Well, let me turn that up because I can't hear my own self now. All right. We are back here. It is the Lake Show live from Los Compadres. My name is Sam Torres, and this is YSN Live, your home for high school sports. I am joined, as always, by the head ball coach. It's Terry Henton.
Oh, boy.
Coming in. It was, listen, it was a tough Friday.
Oh, yeah.
It was, it was a tough Friday. But, you know, if it's worth anything, it's against a very tough team. It's a team that I think is going to be playing for quite a few more games than a lot of the teams in the state of Ohio. Yet the offense struggled against a very, very good defense. I think everybody knows what they're getting with Geneva's offense, right? They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to control the clock. They're going to essentially control the game. What was some of the things you saw going on your offense that you guys were having some trouble with?
We just couldn't stay consistent. We would get a 8-yard play, -4, -5, 2-yard play, -3. So we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. But it's not. I can't take anything away from Geneva. They did an awesome job. They were well coached. They did what they needed to do. And we didn't.
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be real about it, right? That's part of coaching. It's fun. It's fun on the wins, but if everybody won every time, coaches would be easy to find.
Yeah, one of the things I was telling, our guys after the end of the game, like you think, like a lot of those juniors and seniors that are on their team, they've been in the system for 10, 11 years. Like since they've been 5, 6 years old. So we were going into the game knowing we weren't going to like mistake them into us winning. It was really we had to come with it. We had to come with it every play. Remember, that's what we talked about all week. We just didn't live it. There was plays that we played good football, but there was just so many plays that we were hoping. And football is not a hope sport. And those boys, like I said, 10, 11 years into a system, it was almost like they were walking until they knew that the play was going to open up, and it would open up. So they know their offense and defense inside and out. And they showed it against us for 48 minutes.
Yeah, we talked about, I think against a team like Geneva, it's you're trying to make not just Geneva. I think it's any team you're going against, but you're trying to make that other team uncomfortable. Right. Like, you talk about there's no comfort and you have to be comfortable making people uncomfortable. But, it's so hard. How do you make a team that really, like you said, 11 years of experience for a lot of these guys, they can do it in their sleep. How do you make a team that has no second guesses? They do it what they do. How do you make them uncomfortable?
You have to be comfortable. To be honest, it's really. You can't look at them and think that they're bigger, faster, and stronger than you. You really have to come on there and I have my sword, you have your sword, and we got to go at it. That's the way that you're gonna have to beat those guys. You can't second guess. You can't hesitate. You just have to know what you're doing and go do it because they know what they're doing. So you're not gonna get lucky. You're not gonna say, okay, we found a way. No, because they have great coaches as well. Like they're tenured coaches, 20, 30-year coaches over there. So
some of those coaches coach me.
There you go. So, you're 73 years old now.
I feel like it now that it's fall.
Yeah, but the coaches are seasoned. The players are seasoned. It's not like you're going to show them something that they haven't seen. You just have to do it at a high level. And there was times when we did. And there's times that they played their game and we couldn't match it. So I take my hat off to those guys. We're in the cocoon stage here over at Lakeside, and once we become a butterfly, I put us up against anybody.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things when you talk about Geneva that you hear about from a lot of different teams is Geneva gets to play their game. And it's very hard to pull them out of that. And if Geneva's playing their game, it's going to be an uphill battle legitimately against that team. But, you talked about some of the things you guys struggled with. What were some of the things that may have either surprised you in a positive way or that, there's always a moment where you're like, all right, we got that. That one is starting to set.
A few things. Actually, these two guys that are here with me, or two of the things, Sincere made some awesome diving catches, going over people's heads to catch the ball. He led our team in receiving. And when we really needed somebody on defense and we were looking around and one guy ran on the field and that one guy is Matt Erickson,
who's going to make his debut on
yeah.
the show this week.
So, and he went out there. I think he was out there for 7 plays. He made 2 tackles. So, like, hey, like there's guys that are out there for 65 plays that didn't have 2 tackles. So that's when we know he was it's not like we didn't know he was a football player, but Friday nights is a little different. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
Friday nights didn't matter to him. It didn't even. I don't even think it registered to him. He just went out there and played football. That was a great thing. Zion Thomas, awesome job on kickoff returns. I think he averaged like 21, 22 yards a return. Had a 36-yard return. They just kept kicking it to him, and he was breaking 2 or 3 tackles at a time. He did an awesome job on that. Our Tristan Westerfield is always somebody that I keep my eye on in the game, because like he's starting to do what you want him to do. He's just not out there trying and just going willy-nilly. Like he's really, really, really 100% invested in what he's being coached to do. And a lot of times he succeeds, and when he fails, he's looking to the sidelines on help. Like what did I do right or what did I do wrong? So a guy like that being out there, that was awesome. Matt's brother Chris, he didn't have a lot of tackles, but he did what we needed him to do. Like, hey, you set the edge and you make the guys go. The play is more important than the tackle. You make the play, and internally we know you made the play. Somebody else made a tackle, got the name in the newspaper, but without you, I know some of those plays it wouldn't happen. We had some interceptions. Our guys finally tied.
Listen, I was looking forward to that. Finally that interception stat line is not a one man. Congratulations to Nate Bartone for holding it for, we're going to call it a record this year, 8 consecutive weeks for Nate Bartone. But, every game has different lessons, and every game you have to take something from, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. What do you think are some of the lessons that the team took from this game on Friday?
That you can't fake. Is really, we talked about film study last week, and the numbers were up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But then on Thursday, when we were watching it again as a team, we heard some oohs and ahs. So we knew that, hey, you just push play.
Yeah, huh?
Hey, but we're learning. But the culture is, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to make it. I'm going to fake it till I make it. That was a culture that we have to change. And we kind of figured some of that out last week, where, no, you really are faking. But why spend so much energy faking if you could really, really, really dive in and figure this out? So we challenged the scout team to get more film time this week, and it's worked. So our scout team is a lot better, because now they're trying to be the so-and-so person at Conneaut this week. That makes it a little bit better, because they're not guessing, or they're not listening to the coach. And you could hear like the young guys say, no, that's not how so-and-so does it. He does it like this. So now we know those guys are watching film, and that's the culture that we want to change. Like those freshmen and sophomores, there is no other way. This is the way.
Yeah, Friday has a real ability to separate some of the guys on how much work they're really getting done. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of way you can go through the motions all you want to on Monday through Thursday, and it can look good. It can look good Monday through Thursday, but on Friday, when it's 100% of the time, separators happen, and it's usually on a scoreboard.
There you go. And it's a difference between tackling a freshman that weighs 185 and he still has a little baby fat on him, to tackling 175 juniors and 195 and 235 juniors.
Yeah,
like those, that's different. You have to. There's no hold on. I have to go through. You can't go 2. And I think we spent 2 quarters going 2 to tackle, and then we figured it out. It was too late.
Yeah,
but you just have to go through it.
That's the one thing with a team like Geneva. We talked about it off camera. Mm-hmm. You don't play from behind.
You can't.
That's not where you're not going to be successful. When you go against a team like that, and I think it's really a big compliment to a team like that, mm-hmm. to any team, right? Is if we're ahead, you're not catching up, because we control the tone. You almost have to go out there. It's a heavyweight fight. Yeah. You got to win in the first round.
Right. You got to throw the first one. But inside information. So I said to our team just this week, I was like, why do we get into fights and we wait until we get punched in the mouth? Like, ask your family members, at look at the schools that you've been involved in. How many times is the person who got punched first wins the fight? It's not a lot of times,
Yes.
So I use that analogy with our guys. I told them don't go out fighting.
Yeah, we're not
But,
we're not talking about
but what I mean is
direct application.
exactly. But what I'm saying is if you think you can get punched in the face by muscle like Geneva, like if they're gonna punch you first, you're gonna stagger. So we have to punch first, and we didn't. And then the games that we punched first, it's been a completely different result.
It does. It has a different energy. I think, it helps the coaches for sure.
Yeah,
You know what I
nobody.
mean? When you don't want to be on page 2 of your playbook in the first quarter. That's
Oh,
for sure.
I think I'm almost the opposite of that. Like I can't even see but when it's bad, I can't even feel it. Like, it seems like it's this big. But when it's good, it's like they flow off my tongue. But you just have to find ways. A couple of our guys got injured during the game. That cost us. It's not like we were in position, but that put us in the worse position than what
Yeah.
we were. We're trying to heal those guys up now.
Well, you talk about this team as a build, right? And there's not, you don't have 30 quarters of varsity football on the field at all times. You got a bunch of guys who are finding their first times on Friday night, a lot of times on Friday night. And that's no excuse. But, when you talk about depth and where it plays a part in a game and stuff like that, next man up it's a beautiful cliche. It is a wonderful cliche. It's a great way to kind of be very dismissive of things. But next man up works when you have 115 kids in your program.
Right.
Next man up on a program with 45, 50 guys, it's got a different connotation.
Like like we in our eyes on our grading scale, it goes from an A to a C minus a lot of times.
Yeah.
Or A to a D in some instances. So we're not downing the kid because he's young.
Yeah, they're learning.
But where you are in the grand scheme of Friday nights, you're not there yet. But we need you right now, and it will help 2 years from now because he went out there and he got the look in the crowd and see all these things and feel that energy and all those things that helped us out a lot. And like I said, our program, like you said, I should say, we're young, we're growing. Our freshmen are phenomenal. They're junkies. Like 15, 20 minutes before practice, before they have to get dressed, they're outside playing football. Like there's times when there's no coaches on the football field, and those guys are out playing football with each other and calling plays. So I know that it's growing. Our eighth grade team is coming up. They're CVC champions. A shout out to those coaches, Coach Crockett and his staff. Awesome job. Awesome job with those guys. We have that class coming. We have our freshman signing day again. This year we had 28. A few of them are hurt right now. I think we're sitting at 21 of them now.
That's outstanding.
And this class coming in, I think there's 19 of them now. Hopefully we can get a few of them that were in the hallways. So but that's how we're going to try to grow this program all the way down. Our freshmen in the youth league won the Super Bowl in their little division. Our varsity made it to the game before the Super Bowl, and it's all new coaches everywhere.
Well, we talked a little bit about this in the beginning of the year. There aren't many coaches out there that I believe have as much respect and as much involvement in that youth program. But as somebody like you who started, that's your grassroots. You know what I mean? Where you took it so seriously with, I think we can still call it, because that's what they were called at the time, the Redskins. I know you can't say what the league was called. We'll call it the Youth Football League at that time. But, you saw the importance of that and how that turned into those guys that graduated literally just a couple years ago.
Right.
How much of that are you trying to imprint on your staff about, hey, guys, these are the kids. This is what's going to make the difference? Because my thing is I look at a Chardon, I look at a Kirtland, I look at an Eds. You know what I mean? These guys all the way down to the youth level are involved. You know who you are at that time.
100%. That's great. That's number one priority of mine, is to make it a program, not to make it different. We're all speaking different languages and all these things. I'm really invested in that. I don't like in the middle of it in this grind right now. I can't be there, but before the season started, here's the offense, here's the defense. What do you? If you have any questions, come here. We come to the locker room. We did boardwalk. I mean, we did chalk talks with the young guys with the junior high. We instilled our here's our bands. Here's our band system. This is how it works. You know, we're really trying to speak one language. If we can't speak French when you're 5, speak German when you're 9, speak Swahili when you're 11, then you come to me and we're speaking completely different language. And that's what Geneva, like you said, all those teams that you mentioned before, that's what they do. So that's what we're trying to emulate. Like we're not even reinventing the wheel. We're finally getting a wheel. That's where I want to be. Like, hey, it's not about the wins and losses so much now. Me, that's all I worry about. I'm killing myself about it. But the grand scheme of the program, we have to be one team. You know.
Yeah, I mean, are you a program or are you a flash?
Right. So those 5-year-olds, they know my name. You know, they know my face. They know my voice. Those 11-year-olds know my plays. They know the name of a play, and when they hear it on Friday nights, they can kind of get the gist of it. That's what Menor does. That's what all those teams you mentioned before. That's what they all do. So, and they're consistently in the playoffs year in and year out. So, and that's what Rocco does.
Yeah, I mean Rocco, if I'm not mistaken, I think he coaches at that level still 100%. To this day.
Like as a youth coach, the two things that's happened to me when I was a youth coach is I coached against Rocco Dobrin as a youth coach. I saw him on the sidelines. That's Conneaut's head coach, and I coached against Kirtland's head coach. He's the youth coach. Like, so these two guys know their programs, and their programs are growing. Like Rocco can't do anything but respect that man, because there's no one moving to Conneaut. Like, he gets what he gets out of those guys, and he gets the most out of. He's like, Nick Saban gets everything out of their kids, and then they get to the league and they're nothing. Yeah, because he gets everything, every ounce of you. And Rocco Dobrin is one of those guys that gets every ounce of those kids that are out there in Conneaut.
It is. Let's jump into this week's matchup, actually, because it's an interesting one to me. Both of you guys, it's exact records, but when you look at the stats are really similar as well. You talk about the passing stats here, 960 yards and 9 touchdowns for Ambras. Just 779, but also 9 touchdowns, for Stiltner. J. Anthony Williams is leading the pack with 476 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Isaiah Bowles, who is leading their rushing attack with 765 and 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Devin Miller with 355 and Ryan Turner with 384. Ryan Turner, who was a center last year, moving over to tight end. This is one of those games, I think, that is a great matchup, and you really can't overlook. I think people looked at records way too early in the season this year and forgot that, some of those non-conference matchups are not ideal.
Right. We're all we're all growing. Every team around here is young for the most part, except Edgewood's young, Conneaut's young, we're young, Jefferson's young. PV is they're not
young. They know that.
You see what they're doing. Geneva's not, and you see what they're doing. So I can't wait till it's our turn. But you got to give it to Rocco. Those guys that you're mentioning, no one thought of Stiltner last year.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's a similar. I think it's a similar kind of deal with Omar, as these are 2 quarterbacks going against each other on Friday that had not earned a varsity letter yet.
There you go.
These guys are brand new to their systems and being asked just to do the most important position on the field.
Right. Stiltner is that way. Bowles is that way. Because not that those guys aren't good. It's just because the 2 guys that they had last year were stallions. So, but the fact that Rocco said, "I'm not done. We're not going to lay down. I got some guys. You just haven't met them yet." That's just, I give him nothing but respect. He's probably one of my favorite coaches. I love Rocco.
Listen, it's Rocco has the innate ability. It's of getting, like you said, the most out of these guys. It's every year. I don't think
yeah.
anybody ever looks at Conneaut and looks at that game on their schedule, except maybe Edgewood, because of the rivalry game,
Rivalry, right?
and maybe worries about it. But I think that's a big mistake because Conneaut comes every year to play football, and that kind of that's going to bring me into what are you guys looking to get done against this Conneaut team? Now you guys got to go to Conneaut,
Yeah.
and I think it's Riccardi Stadium. I might be wrong. It's going to be rocking.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The whole city of Conneaut's going to be there. There's probably still going to be bonfires on the outside of the fence. What are you doing to get these kids ready for a game that we talked about? You guys have to win this.
Yes, we do.
If you guys want to play in week 11.
It's we have to do our part, so our guys is really it's take it personal, do your job. Like it's your job to do, and you can't play in third gear. You really have to play in fourth and fifth gear. Like and I'm not downing anyone, but I just feel like if we play in fourth and fifth gear, we're one of the faster teams in the area.
I believe
So,
I think I would agree with that.
But our problem is a lot of times we play to the speed of the team that we're playing against, and your attribute is your speed. So use that. Like not to go back to Geneva or Madison or NDCL, but they use what they have. They have muscle and they have size. They don't ever try to get into the track meet with you. But we're a track team basically, and we keep trying to get into the powerlifting contest, and that's where we have to.
I mean, I've heard a couple other coaches in the, I get the chance to be up in that broadcast room, and it's been a couple times where I've heard we have to slow them down. We don't want to play into their speed. So maybe, you Lakeside Dragon players out there, this is what the coaches around the area are talking about. They don't want to get with your speed. And let me put you in on a little secret. If they don't want to let you get into the speed, it's because that's how you're going to win the game.
Every week, we're learning more about ourselves. Every week, we're pushing ourselves a little bit further, and we understand that there's going to be distractions, and we're okay with that now. Before a distraction would tear us apart, so now we're realizing we can see the distractions now. We can internalize it. We can see what it is and take it as what it is. As of raining, as of lightning, as of grades, as of trouble, as all these types of things. It's the same distraction. A third and long that they get, a third and short that we don't get. All these types of things are distractions, and how long is it going to last in your mind, in the forefront of your mind? And that's what we're growing at.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you talk about first to the football. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's first to the football, not just on offense or on defense, but on offense as well. I think if you look at the makeup of this team, athletically, you guys are there.
Right.
The athletes are there. You guys have some big time, including the guys we're going to talk to today. And Sincere Turner and Matt Erickson. You guys got it, and it's about putting it together.
Right.
And that's got to be, I would assume as a coach, that's the most irritating portion of this coaching game.
There you go. It's but it's the ebbs and flows. Again, they're 15, 16, 14 in instances, and it's my first year, and this is they're learning my attitude, they're learning my language, they're learning all these things, and as the adult, sometimes you just think they get it. And they don't.
I'm a parent of teenagers. I know that.
And there's so many times in our locker room, I'll stop myself and say, "Do you guys even understand the word that I said?" And 70% of them will raise their hand like, "No." So that's the adult in me, that thinking that because of my common sense is your common sense, and that's when I have to slow down. I think the team saw me lose my cool for the first time. At halftime of the Geneva game, like I didn't know who that was. Like I didn't know who we were on the football field. And I lost my cool. That's something that I have to learn too. Like I'm not.
Well, I
don't jump off the bridge.
Right. I think it's easy to do, especially when you have an expectation. I know what you guys. We've talked about this in the past. I know you guys can be better than this. I need you to be better than this, right?
And in that instance, I have to do the same thing. I have to say that to myself too. I have to be better than that. Like I have to. Like it's not. I'm the first person to take the blame, and I'm the last person to take the credit. Like so, I want, and like the kids say, "I'll give me all the smoke," because I know it. No, I'm not looking for anybody to pat me on the back when we get it right, and I don't listen to the people who are downing you when we get it wrong. Because
You mean you're not listening to the people on Sunday who can tell you exactly how you would have won that game?
You know, I've been an athlete my whole life, man, and the only position I've never played is armchair quarterback. So I've never played that. Like I last year with my girl, my fiance, and her son was kind of like the first time in my life where I was sitting in a crowd. I don't even know how to do it. I don't. I don't like sitting in the crowd and watching your kid. Like even when my daughter was playing, I was her coach. I'd just never been in the crowd, so I've never been an armchair quarterback. Like I just never. I don't even know how to be that. So
I'm undefeated in high school football on Sunday.
oh,
I can
what?
tell you
Yeah.
that. I've never
What?
lost
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I fixed everything we did wrong on Friday night by Sunday. Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the Dragon Player of the Week and the Scout Team Player of the Week. Dragon Player of the Week this week is going to be Sincere Turner. He's another one of the upperclassmen. Is he a junior or senior?
Junior.
He's a junior, so another part of this very talented junior class. What are some of the things that Sincere did to kind of separate himself?
He's his hands are getting better and better and better and better and better. I put his hands up against anybody in the area.
And he could jump a little bit.
I wouldn't say that, but nah. Yeah, but he's the thing about that I like about him is he's not afraid to go get it.
Mhm.
You know, he's gonna get hit, and he's gotten hit.
Yes, he has.
But he's going to catch the ball. He understands the unwritten rule of a receiver. Like if I'm gonna get hit, I'm gonna catch the ball. Right? I'm not gonna take this pain and not have the ball at the end of it. So he understands that, and he's growing in that aspect. I just wish he was more boisterous, because I think that's how I was as a receiver. Like you're not just
we saw the clips.
Yeah. You're not just gonna go 4 or 5 plays without looking my way. Like, hey, I'm good. Like, my man is, I'm from the Keyshawn era. Keyshawn Johnson, throw me the ball. But if he gets a little bit of that in him, like he has to get on the quarterback's nerves a little bit, and he does. That's what he doesn't do. But when the quarterback and him are on the same page, like he always answers. I just got to get him to take this boy to the end zone. But everything else that he's doing is I can't ask for nothing more than what he's giving us right now. He's our leading receiver. As the receivers, he's one of our guys. I think he has the most catches. He doesn't have the most yards, but he has the most catches because when it's down and dirty, the quarterback knows. It's just when it's fun football, he's not looking for a Sincere. But when it's down and dirty, he's looking for Sincere, and I'm looking for Sincere. So
security blanket.
there you go. There you go.
And let's talk a little bit about our Scout Team Player of the Week this week. It's going to be Matt Erickson. The Scout Team Player of the Week is an award that is voted on by the team. It's about the Scout Team player who went out there and kicked their butt the most during that week. So tell me about this young man who is new to the program, new to the area this year.
First, I'll start off by saying when we first met him and his brother, our hardest practice of the year was our Army workout. We had a military workout, 2 hours, no break. Everything you do that you would do in basic training, that's what we're going to do right now. We kicked their butts. Thunderstruck, the song Thunderstruck.
I know that.
They had to do up, down every time they said thunder. So that was how they started, but they kicked the butt. And their mother got a job. I guess she's something at Walmart, like a executive or something. I'm not for sure exactly. But she moved to the Ashtabula Walmart from Pennsylvania, out by Pittsburgh somewhere. They didn't have a house. And him and his brother showed up to practice and said, "Can we watch?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, can we work out?" I brought my cleats. I was like, "Well, this is the hardest day we're going to have. You really want to work out?" And they said, "Yes." And they both kicked butt in that workout. And I thought I'd never see him again. And I literally asked him at the end of that practice, like, "Hey, how'd you feel?" He said, "Coach, this is the most intense. We love it. We love it." From that point forward, they were. I would hug them right now. They've been here for 20 years, in my opinion, now. But as for Matt himself, like he's just a football player, man. Like you will see, over if his parents stay here. Walmart, keep him here.
We need 4 years out of you, Walmart. We need 4 years.
That's it. But if they were like, he's a football player. Like he doesn't make mistakes. Like if you tell him he has first read run, then I'm to the flats, he's not going to be anywhere else but first read run and to the flats. If you tell him first read run to the seam, he's not going to be anywhere else but those two places. And when there's a decent quarterback, I'm the scout team quarterback. Like for 7-on-7, I hate going against Matt. Like I think he's cheating a lot of times. I'm like, you knew to play, but no, he just knows where he's supposed to be, and he gets there, and he makes plays. And again, like I said, I think he had 7 varsity plays the other day, and he had 2 tackles. The kid is a football player, and he's a sponge. Like you don't have to. He's not going to yell and scream and this and that. You're not even going to know that he's listening to you.
It's just business.
But 3 plays later, he wasn't in, and you told so-and-so to do this, and now it's his time to go in. He won't make the mistake that so-and-so made, and you might not even know that he was paying attention. Like the kid he's a well-raised kid. You don't hear anything from him. We're getting him more and more boisterous. He's starting to talk a little trash now.
I like it.
Western Pennsylvania kid. So, they're football players out there. We love him. We love him and his brother. His family has been nothing but great to us.
Awesome. So we're going to go to our first set of breaks, and then when we come back, we're going to start, as we always do, with our Scout Team Player of the Week. It's freshman Matt Erickson.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are 2 of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor. Come play like a pro on these award-winning Donald Ross-designed courses. Enjoy a round with your kids and unwind with your favorite food and drinks in the grill room. For championship golf, look no further than your backyard. Mill Creek Golf Course.
All right, everybody. We are back with this week's Dragon Scout Player of the Week. It's Matt Erickson, just a freshman, getting out there and making some noise this week. Tell me about practice last week. What was going on?
Practice was really intense. Like, we're all just bashing heads.
Yeah.
It was really physical.
The physical. That's what, from what I've gathered from Coach Terry, when it comes to mixing it up, that's when you're the most comfortable out there. So how long have you been playing football? Because that's one of those things that, a lot of kids have trouble with, is getting out there and getting in the mix.
I've been playing football for 8 years now.
8 years? So what positions have you played throughout your career?
I played tight end, running back, and middle linebacker, outside linebacker.
So when you were playing on the scout team last week, where did they put you?
Put me Middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker. All right, and that's probably why Coach was talking about your ability to read or get get into the get to the ball carrier. So what are some of the things you do in the off season? Do you play any other sports?
No, I just stick with football. Really.
You guys heard that, Lakeside coaches. He is open for in-school recruitment. If you're at a different school, sorry, we don't condone that here. But the wrestling, basketball, baseball guys, you guys got yourself an athlete right here. You may have to get into his ear. He's open for it. But what do you do in the off season because you got to do something if you're out there making a difference?
I lift in condition.
Lift and condition. So big time, spending some time in the gym. What do you love about football?
I just love playing it. It's best sport out there. I mean, physical, fast, just everything.
So you've got one brother.
Mm-hmm.
So how much football do you guys play together?
We play a lot.
Yeah.
Because we used to go in the backyard, get all of our friends, play football for hours.
Yeah.
Until nighttime.
Who's the hardest hitter out of you two?
Me.
So you setting up a little family rivalry. Nothing wrong with that, folks. You've been for the most of this year, you've been playing JV time. Getting your snaps in on Saturday. What was it like when Coach Henton said, "Hey, Erickson, get out there"?
I was nervous. I mean, first time getting out there, really.
So when you got out there, you're nervous. It's a crowd. It's Friday night. What were you focusing on? What did you zone in on? You told me that you were in the zone. What did you zone in on?
I was just trying to make a play, and that's about it.
So 7 plays you get out there on Friday night. You make 2 tackles on that. What was going through your head after the first one?
I was locked in. I was just ready. I was going to keep going.
You said the 2 weren't enough. You were out there ready to just collect those tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the things that, as a freshman, you've got a lot of time to grow. What are some of the things that you yourself are looking to get better at?
Probably just get faster and stronger.
Faster and stronger. What are some of the things you want to do to get there?
I don't know, really.
Well, listen, I'm going to give you some insight. Track gets you faster. So, and your coach, he's got a soft spot for track. So, that's something to keep in mind. So, when you get out there this week during scout team, what are some of the things that you're trying to remember to do?
Trying to make just everyone better on the offense, really. Just trying to improve the team.
So when you're playing on the JV team, what positions are you playing there?
I play outside and middle linebacker.
Outside and middle linebacker. So nothing on offense yet. Do you like offense, or you like to be the hammer instead of the nail?
I like offense, but I just always been a defensive guy.
Yeah.
My time playing football, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You got to do what you're good at,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously you're good at bringing them down. So, just a freshman. We're really, really looking forward to seeing where you're going to head from here. Matt Erickson. I haven't called your name yet, but I have a feeling I'm going to be calling it over the next couple of years. So, cool. Congratulations on being the Scout Team Player of the Week this week. We will talk to you sooner than you think.
All right.
All right, we're going to bring on our next guest. It's going to be Sincere Turner. We'll be right back.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We are back, and this time we are with the Dragon Player of the Week. It's Sincere Turner. Now, Sincere, you went out and had yourself a pretty good game and a tough game, right? In one of the toughest games on the schedule. What was going through your head getting ready to go against? I'm going to keep calling them the Big Bad Wolf in Geneva.
Yeah, we knew they were a little bit stronger, so we just had more physical practice. Yeah.
So, obviously you're a receiver. You get some time in on defense as well, right?
Yeah.
So, when you're playing on the defensive side of the ball, what are some of the things that you try to focus on?
I try to just focus on doing my job, making sure nobody gets like past me, you be deep, nothing like that. Make sure I get the tackle if I can. Yeah, just do my job all around.
So, do you think that your time on offense actually helps you on defense, especially when it comes to the spacing or things like that?
It definitely helps. Like when you're on offense, like you can read the defense more clearly when
Mhm.
you're used to playing it. But like
It's tough.
yeah,
I'll tell you what, I always give credit to you guys who play in that defensive backfield because it's the only spot on the field that if you make a mistake, it usually ends up in points. So, the intensity is up there just a little bit. You're part of a very, very talented junior class. How long have you been playing football, and who are some of the guys you've played football with the longest?
So I've been playing about 8 years with like pretty much all of them except like Devin.
Uh-huh.
I've been playing with him since like junior high, but a lot of the teammates I have, I've been playing with them since a little kid.
Yeah, and do you think that helps you guys? Is there like a trust
Oh, yeah,
that's
for sure.
developed through that?
For sure. Definitely built a lot of trust between us.
So when you go out there on the offensive side of the ball, we were talking about maybe you're not leading in yardage,
Right.
but you are leading in catches. And we have seen you make, not just this year, over the past couple years, you have made some catches where, I'm going to be honest with you, you have gotten schmelted after you caught the ball. How do you keep that in your head? Because a lot of wide receivers tend to take those arms right in here. You want all the smoke.
Oh yeah. It's definitely hurt. It definitely hurt, but it's better to catch the ball and take the hit than take the hit and drop the ball. Like you're taking a hit
For nothing. I think Coach Terry brought up a really good point on that. It's a trade-off, and if you don't catch the ball, you're definitely getting the worst part of that trade-off. What are some of the things you do in the offseason?
I tried to work on my hands, work on my position, everything I do to just help the team get better for the season.
Any other sports or
I play track.
you run track?
Yeah.
What events do you run in the track?
4x1, 200, 4x2.
Oh, so you're a speedster flat out.
A little bit. Yeah.
So, how much do you rely on that speed? How much do you trust in that speed? If you get a good release off the line, do you think anybody's catching you?
Nah. And if they do, I have a lot of trust I can go up and get the ball.
Yeah, we've seen you go up in the air. You're not afraid to leave your feet at all. I mean, it's pure fearlessness. Do you understand that? Like, if I took some of those hits, I got to be off until next Friday. So, I don't know how you guys do it. What are some of the things you do to actually take care of your body and keep yourself, I don't want to say the I word, because we're not going to bring that into the existence, but, you stay relatively healthy. What are you doing to make sure?
I just try to stay in shape, take Epsom salt baths, all of that type of stuff, just to keep my body healthy so I can feel good for the next day, for the next week.
So I'm gonna stir the pot here because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I live.
That's fine.
You're a speedster out there. Who are you, the fastest guy on the team, or if not, who is?
It's either Dev, Jay, or Davion.
Or Davion. Okay.
Davion, yeah, he's quick.
So we're gonna put you in fourth. All right, we'll put you. That's a nice 4x1
cool.
right there between you you guys.
Jamil.
And Jamil. Okay, okay. So, playing offense and defense, not only do you take the hits, I've seen you lay a couple hits as well. And that might be just a bunch of frustration from getting hit all that time. But, where do you get that intensity on defense as well?
I just try to, I don't know. I just try to do my job. If I see somebody coming my way and it's just me and him, try my best to get him down.
Yeah, listen, that's there's nothing wrong with that. Defensive backs not necessarily known for their tackling skills, but I think you do a pretty good job in most of the games I've seen you play out there. On offense or defense, which one do you like more? I think I know where this goes.
Yep, offense. Definitely offense.
So, I didn't prep you for this question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you've been a starter now. This is your third year, right? Because
Yeah.
you got some. You were starting as a freshman, or getting some time as a freshman.
Yeah.
Up to this point,
Mhm.
Sincere, you've made quite a few plays. Any of them stick out in your head? Which one is the one that, if you were putting together an Instagram reel right now, which is the one that you want your profile pic to be?
I had a couple this year, but the Jefferson catch from last year where I caught it and got 1 foot in, that was nice.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Those toe taps is what people they live for, right?
Yeah,
that's
sure.
If you're a receiver, that's what you want to do. Those are the Sports Center plays. You guys still have a lot of the season left. You guys got a tough matchup coming this week against Conneaut. It's a in-home or in-county rivalry game. What are some of the things that you, Sincere Turner, needs to make sure you get done to put the Dragons in a good position to win?
Definitely work on my hands, my routes, everything. Study whoever's going against me. Watch how they move. Study all that. Watch how their defense moves. Watch how their offense moves, and just go into the game with confidence, knowing.
Go out there. Listen, if you go out there and you do your job, it's going to put them in the best position.
Exactly.
So when people watch Sincere Turner go out and play football or run track or do anything that you're doing, what are some of the things that you hope that they see in you? What are some things that is it your determination? Is it your speed? Is it the fact that you never quit?
Yeah, I'm definitely never going to quit. Definitely determined. Definitely want them to see that. Yeah.
So determination, never going to quit out there.
Definitely.
It's going to be a fun year. And with you being a junior, where are your expectations? Because you guys have a lot of talent on this team. And while this season is moving forward, although you guys ain't out of week 11, so don't unlace those cleats just yet. All right, there's still a lot of things that can happen. But what are some things you're looking forward to in this football career?
I definitely need to get way more touchdowns. Definitely lacking on that. More yards.
That's a real receiver answer. That's a real receiver answer right there.
I definitely want to get up on those leaderboards. I just haven't been on them. Haven't been working hard enough. But
you got to love that accountability, though. That's a big one right there. It's nobody else's fault, but you're doing a great job. It's really fun to get to watch you go out there and play. And, I'm sure there's going to be some Sincere Turner plays that people are going to be talking about here in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you guys don't have to miss it. It's going to be right here on ysnlive.com. You're going to get to see Sincere Turner, Devin Miller, Omar Ambris, J. Anthony Williams, Zion Thomas. It's Czar Triplin. The list goes on and on. These guys are going to go out there. It's going to be a big game on Friday. They got to go to Conneaut in the Terror Dome. They got to get a win if they want to keep their season alive. And Conneaut, they're trying to ride that high. You don't have to miss it. It's going to be right here on ysnlive.com. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see you guys and see how this season goes. Yeah. Sincere, good job on a great week last week. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. My name is Sam Torres, ladies and gentlemen, and as I always say, this is for the 440. All right.
This for the 440. This for the 440. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the 440 and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmetto and Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the 440. This for the 440.